This is Ohana. Apparently, it's PoYo's choice. And in the bottom, we do have the set player, PoYo, in blue colors. And good luck, have fun. Damn it. Good luck, have fun. DSCL is awesome. From XA Wish the admin as he leaves the game. And at the top, we do have a crazy, crazy, crazy player,
Who like
Owl.
proxy back? Okay, so would you be willing to bet me a beer that Owl will go for a one base proxy battle cruiser rush?
Not really.
I'm hoping in the deepest, darkest pits of my heart that he does do that. If he makes another battle cruiser this game, he will be my hero.
Well, that would truly be awesome. And you know, if I knew the guy a little bit better, I would most likely bet a beer with you. But I don't really think he's going to do the same thing twice.
Now, you know what's going to actually happen because we had such a good game one. We're now going to be stuck for like an hour and 20 minutes watching them look at each other with like a massive siege light. We'll just be like, no, you had your fun. Now we're going to make you wait. We're going to... You casters had an easy time game one with pointing out all the awesome shenanigans that were happening. Game two, we're going to make you fill time.
Yeah, we're going to make you feel tired and confused, and you're going to put your brains to the work. Now, PoYo is getting gas first before barracks, so... My guess is quick aggression or quick tech coming up, of course, and he might
getting his gas as well now.
Yeah, he is, but only after the barracks, which is kind of standard if you want to open up with a factory or quick stim or something similar. But you know, PoYo taking the gas before the barracks, I think that he wants to pay Owl back in kind with something really unexpected as well.
He could indeed. There comes down the factory. So it does all get scouted, though, by Owl, so he knows precisely what his opponent is doing, and that is the important thing, because if you know what's coming, you can prepare for it. Scouting is about 60% of winning a game of Starcraft, in my opinion.
It is.
Because if you know what... That's once you've got the hang of just mining, generally. Once you can get resources and build things, you need to build the right thing. So... What have we got? We've got the SCV getting taken out. Owl is going to lose his poor loyal worker who had just one job, and behind this he's getting up a Reaper, so going to go for a bit of aggression, and these are of course still Wings of Liberty Reapers.
Wow.
Who hit hard.
I have to say that going Reaper on this map, it's not the best idea because there's only one point you can actually use the Reaper on, and that's near the ramp. You cannot jump with the Reaper over this giant cliff to the north of PoYo's main, so...
That would be OP.
Yeah, that would be. But it is going to be, for PoYo, it is going to be a very quick Banshee. The quickest Banshee you can get out, actually, while he is ascertaining or seizing map control with his Hellions. So...
Well, behind this is just the fact that we do have the Starport coming out. So PoYo getting his Banshee very early on. It's a 1-1-1 style play, and that potentially will do an awful lot of damage, especially if Owl doesn't prepare appropriately for it. But it looks like he's just going to go for some counter-aggression. We've got Stim coming out. The Hellion sees something, beginning research. Doesn't see the command center quite yet, but the Reaper has managed to make it into the base, and the Hellion getting pulled back very quickly from PoYo to try and deal with this.
Yeah, and even if he loses the Reaper, which he just...
Does.
He just did. He did see the tech lab on the starport, so he knows what's coming. That was a critical scout, and look at this engineering bay coming up as well. He will be building a missile turret, saving at least one scan just in case, and he is on 3 racks, so I don't really think that Banshee will do all too much. And behind this, PoYo is taking a command center and a second gas as well.
Well, this is nothing but very impressive by both players. Owl, his scouting has been absolutely incredible. I cannot say enough for how good he's been doing. So, with this information, he's preparing perfectly. He's getting down. He's not started the missile turret yet, but he should do very shortly, because that'll be essential. The tech lab taking a bit of damage, but it won't go down. But now the Banshee's there, it could potentially be in trouble. And if he knocks that off with stim researching, that could be absolutely massive. But he stopped firing it. What is he doing?
I do not know, but maybe he does not want to overextend with that Banshee. I mean, if you want to get at that tech lab...
Oh, look at that! Using the vision of the high ground, he got so many SCVs there. The supply depot falls as well. And of course, now the wall-off's gone, this is a bit problematic. Stim doesn't lead.
And, you know, if he manages to kill those Marines, then there is nothing standing in the way of this Banshee. I mean, there are 2 more barracks with reactors, but this combination, I mean, PoYo is controlling these few units so well, and he never got stim, by the way. So, but that, of course, that is not something Owl could have known, and I'm still a little bit surprised there are no missile turrets around the mineral lands.
That was... It's the sort of thing which, if you get aggression at the front, you don't have to worry. But now we see the Banshee trying to come in from behind, but it's not going back there yet. Just pulling back for the moment, trying to still threaten. But PoYo, he did some nice damage. He killed 7 workers from that cliff, and that was really, really good in itself.
Yeah, he's now up 6 workers as he's taking his natural at around the same time that his opponent is. So he is actually economically ahead. He is ahead in tech as far as, you know, the mech side of things go. He does have access. Oh, he actually is getting a Raven. This is really interesting to me. Will he transition into an all-out mech build? Because that barracks is not doing anything. He's not getting any engineering base neither.
That barracks is actually taking on the role of upper management because it's floating over and just making sure everything's going to plan. That is the upper management barracks. He's like making sure that the factory and the starport is doing what it should. And now we see that a lot of Hellions are here, but those 2 Marauders are going to scare them back. That needs to be very, very careful. Meanwhile, where is the Banshee? That's hiding just somewhere in the middle. It is back home now, that's fine. So it needs to focus down those Marauders relatively quickly. We see the SCVs getting pulled as well, but so much damage being done here. Owl is just pushing forward like a steamroller.
He is pushing forward, that is true, but he also lost every single one of his Marine and the Marauder, and PoYo does have a 3rd base as well. I mean, PoYo is pulling back ahead considerably here, considering that he is on 3 command centers, he is putting down multiple factories, and he still has a standing army after that exchange, whereas his opponent does not. And we do have a Hellion drop in the main base as well, killing some more SCVs before getting out of there.
Yeah, it's only a couple of SCVs killed, but actually 10 and 9 on either side, so very equal. PoYo taking his 3rd base, though. That is quite a substantial thing to note, because that's putting him a base up. The worker count is 31 to 34 in Owl's favor, but that additional command center, that additional mule, will make up for that. And of course, Owl, he's going for some more aggression. PoYo is going pure mech. He's got the armory, 2 more factories on their way out. No tanks yet, though, which is just astonishing.
Yeah, it is. I half suspected him to switch one of those factories with the starport just to get tanks out. And will 3 Marauders be enough? Can those Banshees focus them down before they kill all of the Hellions? Look how fast the Hellions are falling, though.
Yeah, those Hellions are just melting. Meanwhile, we do have one more Hellion getting dropped down, going to try and do some damage, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough quickly enough. The next wave of reinforcements are on their way through, and that just means that these next wave are going to cause a bit of a problem for PoYo. He's going to lose more SCVs, but is able to deal with the Marines quite easily. The Marauders, less easily, but with so many more Hellions than units Owl had, that does level things out. But 14 workers now killed by Owl. That takes the worker count 41 to 37 in the Orange Terran player's favor.
Yep, I'll just have to see and have to check how are we looking on the upgrade front. +1 armor finishing for Owl right now, which will put him on 1-1, and we so far have 0 upgrades for the mech units of PoYo. A little bit surprised that these barracks are actually not doing a scouting job or something, and PoYo's still in a good spot. You know, he's on 3 bases, which as a meching Terran I have to say that that's a good advantage you can get over a Terran that's going bio. But Owl is preparing to take his 3rd base as well.
This is still a very close game. Admittedly, PoYo does have the advantage. He needs to make sure that he's got to do a bit of harassment. I mean, our situation now is he's been doing the right thing, poking and prodding. He's got to stop PoYo from getting up a sizable force, because once he does, then that's really where a mech army is always going to dominate. And the only way you can stop that is by multi-prong harassment, utilizing the fact that mech is very immobile.
Definitely. But so far Owl is not doing that. Oh, he missed those Hellions just by milliseconds, and those do have blue flame right now, so they're going to be killing the Marines oh so fast. And you know, versus tanks and Thors, just Marauders are not gonna cut it. Not enough DPS. I mean, when it gets to larger army sizes in later stages of the game anyways. What I really like though is PoYo's addition of should I say early addition from the start of the game of Ravens and Ravens basically to complement his Banshees and ground forces.
Ravens are indeed good, but Hellions pushing up into the natural base. So many Marines could potentially die there, but a good stim means that Owl is able to take out the majority of those Hellions very quickly indeed. But still, the worker count sitting at 64, bang on even. That is very close. It's a slight army supply advantage to PoYo, with as mech is going to be quite a big advantage, but the thing he's missing is upgrades. It's 1-0 against 1-1. Owl also got 2-2 on the way, whereas just +2 vehicle weapons coming down for PoYo at the moment. That upgrade advantage could be absolutely massive.
Could be. Right now PoYo is just making sure that he is drop proof, and you know, that smaller army for Owl, that's really telling the tale of having that third base up so much sooner than his opponent. And right now we do have more than 8 tanks.
There's also a drop coming up. There's a drop coming up towards the main of Owl. This is only 4 Hellions, but with nothing to defend it with Blue Flame. That could do a huge amount of damage. Meanwhile, Owl has pulled back at the moment. He's got to try and defend his third base, where it's a double drop, multi-prong harassment. The Hellions are going in towards the main base now, though, and this is going to do an awful lot. So many of those very, very poor SCVs going down. Meanwhile, the damage still being done. So many lining up as well. We do see that PoYo really taking out a lot of workers, but Owl, he's doom dropping into the main base at the same time.
He is, and who is going to come out ahead? I mean, the drop at the main base of PoYo is going to be super effective because PoYo's forces are highly immobile. Look at this, already one factory did go down. Owl is not target firing anything, and now comes the Raven into play, catching all of those Marauder missiles. But I don't know if this drop was worth it for Owl, to be honest. He could have done a lot better job with it. And meanwhile, PoYo just killed more and more SCVs back at back home. At
now,
his third
I've got something very, very exciting to tell everyone. Owl, after his Game 1 success, is going for another battlecruiser. Legit, like, everyone should like have a massive smile on their face right now because battlecruisers are incredible. He's also getting the cannon upgrade. He is just incredible.
And he's hiding those battlecruisers as much as he can, though.
Yep, the second one on its way down.
You know what? PoYo did see the fusion core, though, so he should be prepared for this. Hopefully, he did learn from game number 1. Is he dropping more starports down? No, he's getting a lot more missile turrets, though. And maybe he wants to finish the game before a lot of battlecruisers appear out on the field. But oh my God, look at the sheer number of tanks he's got.
That is a lot of tanks. It is a grand total of 14 tanks on the field, but he only has 2 Vikings. And that is always going to be a problem if your opponent is getting battle cruisers.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Vikings are not going to kill a battlecruiser. A battlecruiser, not to mention more of them. So, even if he does get rid of all of the anti-air represented by these Marines, I don't know. May not be enough.
Also, the other interesting thing is Owl is getting Vikings out as well to counter the Viking threat. So it's all about air superiority now. But unfortunately for PoYo, he doesn't have any of that. He is pretty weak in the skies and therefore is gonna start to die.
Yeah, he is. I think Owl is just trying to transition into some form of Sky Terran as the game goes on. I really wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he's just doing this for the kicks of it, or just to complement his ground forces, although it seems really weird.
Oh,
It's
this
just,
was such a good choice by PoYo getting mass missile turret. That is actually a genius move because suddenly that's a lot of DPS that's going to be quite
yeah.
difficult to take out.
But the problem is he has to engage near those missile turrets, whereas the battlecruisers can fly around, the Vikings can fly around, the medevacs, and here comes Owl trying to take some of the forces. The tanks are not sieged. Not that it matters though, and half of the army is actually dead. Maybe Owl just wanted to free up some supply, and he keeps getting them battlecruisers, man.
It's because battlecruisers are good units. Like legit, they are
Yeah,
solid. They are really good in TBT as well because even if you have a good Viking count, it's very awkward to take them out. But the mass missile turret is one of the best things to do. But of course, that just means the PoYo is turtled. He is so turtled up right now. He is basically like a turtle who's gone into another shell. Like that is how completely backed up he is. Trying to take his fourth base though, and this means that he's got to start going wider and further, and it becomes a little more difficult. So this is the point really where Owl needs to start exploiting the fact that PoYo is trying to spread out.
Yeah, because if we look at PoYo's army, he's just covering heavily the left flank or the left side of the map. The right side completely undefended. There are a lot of missile turrets, but you could potentially storm a lot of infantry up that ramp into the natural and sneak into the main base if you really wanted to. Of course, that would have to mean that Owl actually knows precisely how the defenses are set up, and now he will take out this planetary fortress.
Yep, that fortress goes straight down, like instantaneously, and that means the PoYo has now ended up being a base down on his opponent, who is happily still mining off of his own fort, sitting at 76 SCVs to just 58. Owl thoroughly ahead right now in the economic senses.
Yeah, and PoYo is just now producing more and more Vikings, but still has only one starport, and he's adding Thors into the mix. I don't know if Thors will be enough to take care of those battlecruisers. They might take care of the Vikings, and oh my god, will Owl actually take out another PoYo's base?
Well, he very well may. He's in a great position. Those battle cruisers are doing a nice amount of damage, but the supporting infantry does finish it off. There goes down that planetary fortress. The mules! Oh, the mules are dying. That is very sad to see. Those poor mules, they don't know. They were purely built in order to mine minerals. They wouldn't have no concept of fighting or war. Yeah. And that means that they were sacrificed to the greater battle cruiser gods.
Yeah, it sucks not having a battle upgrade.
It does indeed. So now we do see that the air superiority fight is going on. The one Thor trying to deal some damage, but there is the cannon sniping it off. And well, there's another one there, but another cannon about to hit, and this is awesome. I don't remember last time I saw that, so this is pretty awesome.
Well, PoYo did manage to get quite the Viking count, and for whatever reason, Owl does not have that many Vikings. What happened there? I mean, he's down to 2 Vikings. He did have quite a lot of them, and suddenly he's behind in the Viking count tremendously. He's trying to take out these tanks though, and succeeds in taking out a couple of them before losing the rest of his ground army. But what units are left for Owl right now? This is a really bad time for him, because he's down to only 4 Marauders, 8 Marines, and 2 Ravens, and that's it. No battlecruisers, nothing, and his opponent's got tanks, and they're approaching his defensive lines.
Indeed, this is getting pretty scary for Owl. He is down by 40 supply. He no longer has the air superiority. He's trying to get more battlecruisers out, but as we saw PoYo, he's up with 15 Vikings. He can crush that. He's still got his 12 tanks on the ground, and he is just edging his way across the map. He secured his 4th base, but Owl, he is up on 5 bases. He's coming from the side. He's trying to get the flank off. Where's the PDD? It didn't go down. The Ravens just sacrificing themselves. And well, this is a bit unfortunate. PoYo is likely to win this game now. He's won in the air, he's won on the ground, and that only means that you're probably going to win the game.
Yeah, you are. We're just basically, I'm just waiting for the GG from Owl, because I mean, even if we look at just the supplies, 160 versus 97, and almost a non-existent army with only 40 army supply, And you know, once PoYo established this position, this and sieged up his tanks right here between the second and third, there's no way you're going to unhorse him from that position with what you have if you're in Owl's shoes. So
yeah, this is very unfortunate for Owl. He did good. He went battle cruisers, which nothing else gives him instantly plus 10 esports points. But to be honest, it's nearly 100 supply advantage for PoYo now. It's getting seriously big. And while there are already, well, there's soon to be 3 battle cruisers out for Owl, there's just so many Vikings there for PoYo. 11 Vikings are going to shred through battle cruisers so quickly.
oh yeah, they will just like 2 or 3 shot them maybe. 1, 2, yeah, 3 shot them.
Yeah,
So, that's just unfortunate. And you know, Owl made a slight mistake of not having enough Vikings in the crucial amount of in the crucial moment there, and he lost the first air battle, and that was it. GG called.